Hi guys, good morning. I'm John Marco Tendero. So sa video na to guys, papakita ko sa inyo yung magpapakita ko sa inyo yung solving or solution sa illustration financial ratios ng R6 Company Comparative Statements of Financial Position December 31 and 2017 and 2016. So yun, itong report na to is karugtong lang sa report ni Jessa. Kung baga itong akin lang is solving, solution lang, papakita ko sa inyo. So yun lang, tara. Hi guys, so ito yung illustration financial ratios ng the comparative balance sheet of R6 Company is given below. So ito, the R6 Company Comparative Statement of Financial Position December 31 and 2017 and 2016. So dito sa assets meron 2017 and 2016. So sa assets meron tayong cash, accounts receivable, net, inventory, plant assets and total assets. So sa 2017 sa cash meron yung 2017 asset sa cash meron tayong 30,000. Sa accounts receivable merong 97,000. Sa inventory merong 90,000. Then sa plant assets net merong 300,000. So the total of nung 2017 total assets is 517,000 and 500. Then 2016 sa cash yung 2016 sa cash is merong 45,000. Sa accounts receivable merong 90,000. Then yung inventory is 75,000. Then sa plant assets is have 270,000. So the total of assets is 480,000. So ito yung assets ng R6 Company or yung comparative statement of financial position. So dito naman is yung liabilities and stockholders equity ng company. So dito sa liabilities and stockholders equity is kapaloob dito yung accounts payable, mortgage payable, common stock, and retained earnings, and the total then yung total ng liabilities and stockholders equity. So sa accounts payable merong 75,000 nung 2017 to guys. Tapos sa mortgage payable guys, sorry. Meron tayong 150,000 sa 8%. Then sa common stock is meron tayong 210,000. Then sa retained earnings meron tayong 82,000 nung 2017 to guys. So sa the total of liabilities and stockholders equity is 517,500. So same lang din dun sa assets nila. Then dito sa 2016 sa accounts payable is merong 90,000, mortgage payable merong 150,000, then sa common stock meron tayong 180,000, then sa retained earnings is merong 60,000. So the total of liabilities and stockholders equity is 480,000 nung 2016 to. So dito guys is merong additional information for 2017 assets. Ito galing to sa company nung additional information lang to nung 2017. So number 1, income before interest, expenses and income taxes was 168,000. So merong 168,000 pesos. Number 2, sales on accounts were 990,000 pesos. So meron siyang 990,000 nung 2017. Sales return and allowance amounted to 5,625. Then number 4, cost goods sold was 676,500. Then number 5, interest expenses total 12,000 pesos. Then the last is the income taxes rate is 30%. So ito guys, tong additional information for 2017 is magagamit natin mamaya sa solution natin dito sa ito guys. Ito na yung the required, ito na yung solution. Kung baga ito na yung hahanapin natin, required. Compute the following ratios at December 31, 2017. So, ang i-compute natin ngayon is itong 2017. So, ito yung mga hanapin natin guys is meron diyang una, hanapin natin sa solution is yung current ratio, then quick ratio, accounts receivable turnover, collection period, inventory turnover, inventory convention period, debt to equity ratio, debt ratio, gross profit rate, operating profit, return on sales, tapos return on assets, then return on equity times interested. Tama, times interested. Then the last is the asset turnover. So yan guys yung solution or yung required na hanapin natin dito sa R6 company natin. Kung baga yan yung isolve natin na solution ngayon. So punta na tayo sa solution. Ito na yung solution natin dun sa required dun sa R6 company, yung 1 to 15. So number 1 is yung current ratio. So ano nga bang nakapalob sa current ratio? So nakapalob sa current ratio is nandyan yung current assets over current liabilities. So it means sa current assets nakapalob siya is yung cash plus accounts receivable plus inventory over accounts payable. So ano nga ba yung nakapalob ng current assets nung 2017 sa cash? 'Di ba mayroon kaninang 30,000. So yan, may 30,000. So sa accounts receivable meron dong 97,500 pesos plus sa inventory merong 90,000 pesos. So and then over sa accounts payable meron 75,000. So yun, meron tayong 75,000 over 75,000 sa accounts payable. So ipag-plus lang natin yan. 30,000 plus 97,500 plus 90,000 is equals to 217,500 pesos. Then divide natin sa accounts payable na 75,000 is, so it's equals to 2.9. So the interpretations here, the company has 2.90 of current assets to every peso of current liability. Therefore, we can conclude that the company has the ability to generate cash on time. Its current liabilities become due to a demandable. So, yung current ratio ng company is have 2.9 current ratio ng R6 company. So, yun yung current ratio sa number 1. So, number 2 is sa quick ratio. Sa quick ratio naman is nakapalob dyan yung quick assets and current liabilities. So sa quick assets is nakapalob din dun yung cash plus accounts receivable over accounts payable. So sa cash, di ba merong 30,000 pesos plus sa accounts receivable merong 97,500 pesos over 75,000 sa accounts payable. So ganun din, ipag-plus din natin 30,000 plus 97,500 is equals to 127,500 pesos. Divide natin sa accounts payable na 75,000 pesos is equals to 1.7. So the interpretations here, the company has 1.7 or 1.70 of quick assets in every peso of current liability. Therefore, we can conclude that the company has the ability to generate cash before the due date its current liability. So the quick ratio of company have 1.7 or 1.70. So yun yung quick ratio. Sana guys masundan niyo yung sinasabi ko. And then meron then number 3 tayo guys. So sa number 3 is nakapalob diyan yung accounts receivable turnover. So sa accounts receivable turnover merong net credit sales, then average receivable. So saan natin makukuha yung net credit sales? So makukuha natin yung net credit sales dito sa additional information. So dito sa number 3, sales on accounts were 990,000 pesos. Dito yun sa additional information for 2017. So yun yung net credit sales natin dyan, yung 90,000. So then ibabawas natin yung sales return and allowance amounted to 5,000 pesos 625. So ibabawas natin yung 5,625 sa 990,000 pesos. So then over sa average receivable. i-over sa average receivable na 997,500 plus 90,000. Then 990,000 minus 5,625 pesos is equals to 984,375,000 pesos. Divide natin dito sa pag-plus natin tong dalawa na to. 97,500 plus 90,000 divide natin sa divide 2 is equals to 93,750 pesos. So 984,375 divide 93,000 pesos 93,750 pesos is equals to 10.5. So the interpretation is on average, the company collects totally its receivables 10.5 times a year. Times a year siya, guys. So it means yung accounts receivable turnover is merong 10.5 times a year na babalik or mata-turnover na pera. So number 4, collection period. So sa collection period natin, guys, is meron tayong 360 days. Parang automatic na yung 360 days sa collection period. Panoorin nyo yung report ni Juralen or ni Jessa Pinkian. Doon malalaman nyo doon. Then over accounts receivable turnover. So saan natin makukuha yung accounts receivable turnover? 360 over 10.5. Doon yun sa accounts receivable turnover. Yung kanina, yung 10.5 times a year. So dito 360 divide 10.5 is equals to 34.29 days rounded. So it means sa interpretation ng collection period is the company waits on average 34.29 days before its receivable become fully collected. So mayroong 34.29 days before fully collected yung sa collection period ng company. So yan, guys, number 5 na tayo. Number 5 is the inventory turnover. Sa inventory turnover naman is nakapalob na dyan yung cost of goods sold over average inventory. So cost of goods sold over the average total company is the beginning and plus the ending inventory. So dito yung 75,000 saka yung 190,000 is dito rin natin yan makikita sa R6 company dyan. So 676,000 yung cost of goods. Dito yun sa additional information. Ayan, guys, yung cost of goods sa number 4. Cost of goods sold was noong 2020 is 176,500. So 6,776,500 pesos is over 75,000 plus 90,000 plus 90,000 over divide 2. So 676,500 pesos divide 82,500 is equals to 8.2. Then the interpretation is on average the company sales totally beats inventories 8.2 times a year. So it means have a 8.2 times a year yung inventory turnover na mababalik sa company. Inventory turnover 8.2 times a year. So number 6. So sa number 6 is inventory convention period. So sa inventory conversion period, so yun yung 360 days, then over inventory turnover. So sa inventory turnover yung kanina yung sa number 5 yung 8.2, di ba may 8.2 tayo doon. So 360 days divide natin sa 8.2 na inventory turnover is equals to 43.9 days. So sa interpretation interpretation is the company waits on average 43.9 days before its inventories are totally sold. So mayroong 43.9 days before its inventory are totally sold. So maghihintay ng 43.9 days before totally sold yung sa company. Kung baga yung products ng company, yung benta ng company. So inventory conversion period ang tawag doon. Then number 7 tayo. Sa 7 is have a debt to equity ratio. So sa debt to equity ratio, nandyan yung total liabilities and total equity. So sa total liabilities, mapapasok dyan yung accounts payable plus mortgage payable over common stock plus retained earnings. So sa accounts payable, di ba, mayroon tayong 75,000 plus sa mortgage payable is have a 150,000 over sa common stock is 210,000 plus sa retained earning is 82,500. So ipag-plus natin 75,000 plus 150,000 is equals to 225,000. Then ipag-plus din natin to 210,000 plus 82,500 pesos is equals to 292,000. So 225,000 divide natin sa 292,500 pesos is equals to 0.77:1 or simplify natin sa 0.77. So the interpretations here is the creditors have 0.77 investments in the company in every peso investment of assets of shareholders. So it means merong 0.77 yung debt to equity ratio ng isang R6 company. So number 8 tayo, debt ratio. Sa debt ratio, sa number 8 natin is nakapaloob dyan yung total liabilities over total assets. So di ba sa total liabilities natin mayroon tayong 225,000 pesos over sa total assets natin is meron tayong 517,000. Guys, itong 225,000 nakuha natin yan sa total liabilities na accounts payable plus mortgage payable, di ba? 225,000. So dito nagamit natin yan dito sa debt ratio. Kumbaga parang dugtong-dugtong lang yan, guys. So 225,000 divide natin sa total assets na current yung 2017 570,500 pesos equals to 0.43:1 or simplify natin sa 0.43. So the interpretation is the creditors have 0.43 pesos investment in the company in every peso of total investment assets in the company. So it means yung debt ratio is mayroong creditors na 0.43 pesos investment sa isang company. So yun yung debt ratio ng company, 0.43. So number 9 natin is gross profit rate. So sa gross profit rate is nandyan yung gross profit over net sales. Sa gross profit natin is net sales minus COGS over net sales. 984,000 sa net sales is meron 984,375. Divide natin sa COGS na 676,500. Dito natin yan makita, guys, sa additional information for 2017. So dyan natin makukuha. Yun na yung sa cost of goods sold, 776,000. Then yung 984. Dito yan sa accounts receivable turnover. Yung sa ano natin kanina, sa net credit sales, di ba meron tayong 984,375,000. Yung pinagbawas natin tong 990,000 sa cost of goods na 5,625. So yun, dito na tayo sa number 9 dito sa gross profit row. So 984,375,000 pesos minus natin sa 6,076,500 pesos is equals to 307,875 pesos. Divide natin siya sa 984,375 pesos na net sales is equals to 31.28%. So the interpretation in every peso sale there is 31.28 centavo markup. So sa gross profit rate is in every peso is merong 31.28% na gross profit na makukuha nung company or yung galing sa company, sa R6 company. So number 10 tayo. Sana masundan nyo ako guys yung sinasabi ko. So sa number 10 tayo is merong operating profit margin. Sa operating profit margin, nakapaloob dyan yung operating profit over net sales. So, di ba sa operating profit is meron tayong 168,000. Saan ba natin makikita yung 168,000 operating profit? Dito yan sa additional information for 2017. So yun guys, yung number 1, income before interest, expenses, and income taxes was 168,000 pesos. So yun, dito tayo sa number 10. So, di ba yung net sales natin is meron tayong 984,375 pesos. So ito, 168,000, divide natin siya sa 984,375 pesos is equals to 17.07%. So the interpretation here is in every peso sale there is 17.07 centavo operating profit. Note the income, earnings before interest, expenses, and income taxes is the same as the operating profit. So it means merong 17.07% na operating profit margin ng isang company or yung R6 company. Merong 17.07%. So yan guys. So number 11 na tayo. So nakapasok dito sa number 11 is meron tayong return on sales, di ba? Return on sales. So napapasok diyan yung profit over net sales. So sa profit, di ba, dun sa profit is meron tayong 168,000. Minus natin siya sa 12,000. Dito rin natin yan makikita sa additional information for 2017. So 168,000 minus natin sa 12,000 pesos is equals to 168,000 minus natin sa 12,000 pesos, then times natin sa 70%. Times natin sa 70% guys. So is equals to 109,200 pesos. Is over sa net sales natin na 984,375 pesos. So i-divide natin 109,200 pesos divide 984,375 pesos equals to 11.09%. So the interpretation here, wait lang guys. So the interpretation of return on sales, the company has 11.09 centavo profit in every peso sale. Note, the profit means all types of expenses are already deducted in the sales revenues, and this include the interest expenses and income taxes. So it means guys, is already deducted na. So it means meron lang return on sales na 11.9%. Kung baga ito na yung malinis na kita or return on sales ng company. Kung baga deducted na lahat doon, di nakasama yung 8.9. ay yung 11.09%. Kumbaga ito na yung malinis na ano na return on sales ng company. So sa return on assets natin, number 12 na tayo, return on assets. So sa return on assets na meron tayong profit over average total assets. So saan natin makukuha yung profit? Dito na yan sa return on sales kanina, yung kumbaga guys, parang sunod-sunod lang to. Dito natin kukunin yung profit na 109,200 pesos. Then, over sa average total assets natin, di ba meron tayong 517,500 pesos plus 480,000. Dito na yan guys, so sa lahat na yan. Sa lahat na yan, dito na yan. Yan na yung average total assets, kumbaga to, lahat na yan. So, divide, ano natin, 109 pa plus natin, 570,500 pesos plus 480,000. Then divide natin sa 2 is equals to 498,750 pesos. So, 109,200 pesos divide 498,750 pesos is equals to 21.89%. So, the interpretation, in every peso investment in asset, the company generates 21.99 centavos of profit. So, it means yung return on assets, kumbaga, nag-generate siya ng 21.89% centavos of profit. So, yun guys, yung return on assets. So, number 13, return on equity. Sa return on equity natin guys, meron tayong nakapaloob dyan yung profit and average equity. So, sa profit, di ba, mayroon kanina 109,200 pesos. So, yan, profit over close. Then, sa average equity, 292,500 pesos plus 240,000 over or divide natin sa 2. So, it means 292,500 pesos plus 240,000 divide 2 is equals to 266,250 pesos. So, divide 109,200 pesos divide 266,250 pesos is equals to 41.01%. So, the interpretations of return on equity assets is in every peso investment of shareholders, the company generates 41.01% centavos of profit. So, yung return on equity, kumbaga, nag-generate siya ng 41.01% centavos of profit. So, yun yung return on equity. So, number 14 na tayo. Dalawa na lang guys. So, sa 14 natin is times interest earned. So, sa earnings before interest and tax over interest expenses. So, di ba sa earnings and before interest and tax, meron dun sa information ng 2017, meron tayong 168,000 pesos. Then, over sa 12,000 pesos, dun din to sa interest expenses, dun din to sa information, additional information for 2017. So, 168,000 pesos divide 12,000 pesos is equals to 14. So, the interpretation here, the interpretations of return times interest earned is the ratio of operating profit to interest expenses is 14. And it shows that the company has the ability to pay the interest incurred from the financing its assets. So, it means meron tayong times interest earned ng yung company is merong 14 na times interest earned. So, last is assets turnover. So, sa assets turnover, nakapaloob dyan yung net sales over average total assets. Net sales 900. So, diba sa net sales natin kaya na meron tayong 984,375 over 498 sa average total assets natin na 498,750. Dito na yan guys, oh. Yan yung average total assets, yung pinagsama natin din, divide natin sa 2. So, 984,375 pesos divide 498,750 pesos is equals to 1.97. So, the interpretation, in every peso of assets, the company earns 1.97
pesos of sales revenue. So, sa assets turnover is nag-earn siya ng 1.97 pesos of sales revenue. Kumbaga, meron siyang assets turnover na 1.97 pesos. So, yun lang guys, yung solution or yung required doon sa isang company. I hope na nasundan nyo ako or na naintindihan nyo yung mga sinasabi ko dahil yun lang. Salamat guys.